Welcome again. We can grab our seats, that'd be great. It's our time of family life now, and just to go over some quick announcements. Before we begin, I'd like to invite Pastor Kyle to make a special announcement.
Well, one of the things we enjoy doing is recognizing our volunteers here, people that help out to make sure that we have services and welcome people. I want to thank our nursery volunteers today, the people that are directly below me now. For those of you who help a lot monthly or sometimes more than that to watch the kids, we thank you for that. That can be a thankless job, but you are. The parents love you, and I want to especially thank the people that are involved regularly. That Cheyenne Erickson, Maggie Fortson, Eunice Moon, Eric Weddle, Caitlin Henderson, Laurel Knorr, and Laura Curtin, who organizes the whole ministry. And Laura just had a baby herself a few days ago. So Callahan Curtin. So thank you for all you who volunteer. I do have a small gift for you that I'd like to give you. So before you head out today, run into me and I will hand you that. But thank you.
Thanks, Kyle. If you have your bulletins, or you could look up there, we have some announcements to go over. Number one is there will be tea at the Edwards this afternoon at 4 p.m., and the address is there. If you could stop by, that'd be great. Number two, we have our monthly pub talks, and that will be next Sunday at 6:30, where you just we just go over talking points on Christian worldview, especially issues facing the Christian and the church in today's culture. So please come with your questions and your drinks to share. Hope to see you there next Sunday. Number three, if on the back table, we have some cards there also for the men's retreat, April 5th through 7th. And hopefully you men can prayerfully consider going. Tonight is the last day to register for the early bird price of $140. So we do hope many of you can join us there. We don't have a slide for this, I don't think, but we do have 6 weeks left before the end of our budget year. And so we do thank you so much for giving over these past weeks and months. And we ask you to prayerfully consider helping us kind of reach our budget in the 6 weeks to come. It's my privilege now to interview Valerie Nielsen. She is one of our global ministry partners. And we would like to just interview her about what she's doing, her family's doing in ministry in Montreal, Canada. And before she comes up, just a quick overview. Valerie and her husband, Eric, some of you guys might know, were involved with the HTC Downtown congregation from 2012 through 2016 when Eric was studying at Trinity Evangelical Divinity School. They had a son, Zachary, who was born in Chicago, and then later they had a daughter, Julia, after they moved back to Ontario. So Valerie, if you can come up here, welcome to HTC Northside. I guess the first question would be, why did your family move to Quebec?
Bonjour tout le monde, ça va bien? I had to try that out. Good morning. So the reason why we moved to Quebec about 5 years ago when Eric and I were living here in Chicago, we took a vision trip and we went to Montreal, and we had really a heart to be involved in church planting in a major city in Canada. And when we went to Montreal, we were kind of thinking, well, it's a major city, we should go there, but just kind of rule it out. We won't go to Montreal because of the language being so different there. But when we were there, the Lord really put on our heart just a desire and a love for the people in Quebec. The French Quebec people are the largest underreached people group in North America, and there's 8 million people in Quebec, and it's less than 1% evangelical Christian. So there's a real need for the gospel to go forth in Quebec. And they have a real interesting history there. The Catholic Church had so much control and power up until the 70s that they dictated everything: land, how many children women have, just so much control. And in the 60s, there was a silent revolution, they called it, where people just left the church in mass exodus, and now it's a very, very secular society, like Europe. There was also, interestingly, some missionaries that went to Quebec in the 50s from Ontario to Quebec to share the gospel of Jesus Christ, and some of them were imprisoned there in the 50s. So you can kind of get a sense for the culture, the history there. And we just desire to be used by God in Quebec to proclaim Christ there.
Great. Thanks for sharing some of the history there. What are you specifically doing there in terms of ministry?
So right now we're living in St. Jerome. It's an hour north of Montreal, and our goal right now is really learning the language, learning French, and the culture. It is quite a different culture there. So we're focusing Eric's in full-time French classes. I'm at home with the kids, and we're trying to learn the culture, get to know our neighbors, get involved in serving in our local church. And one story that I thought I'd share to kind of show the culture difference there, we met our neighbor, and we kind of invited her in, got to know her a little bit, and then had her and her boyfriend over. And it was a last minute, like, come for tea, let's chat, and they ended up staying for 3 hours. So they're a very relational, very warm culture. And at a later time when they came over for supper, Eric got to share the gospel with them. And afterwards, Soleil, the guy said to us, we're so thankful to be able to talk to you about this stuff. It's so hard to talk to our neighbors about things like this. And so we're really thankful for that opportunity, and that's really our goal right now, is just culture and language learning.
I imagine there's a lot of challenges being there, but what has been one of the biggest challenges for you and your family?
So I think along with the culture and the language barriers, it's just getting to know people on a deeper level. In our church, we're making friends. We've been there about 8 months now, so we're over the kind of honeymoon phase, and now it's getting hard, just feeling like we know people, but there's a lack of depth in relationships, so that's been hard for us. And also, our long-term vision is to be in Montreal, in the city, helping to support church plants. And so I think for my husband, it's just the challenge of learning a language, and how long is it going to take for us to learn it. So that's hard for us right now.
Thank you. Kyle's visiting in a couple weeks, thankfully. But how can we all be supporting you in ministry?
Thank you. Yeah, we feel so supported by Holy Trinity Church. We're so thankful for all of you guys, and just the ongoing financial and prayer partnership with you. Even just at Christmas, when there was an offering taken for the Global Ministry Partners, that money that we got allowed me to come here for the Simeon Trust workshop, to learn and study the Word with other women, and to meet up with friends and supporters. So we're so thankful for you and your support. A couple other things I would say: just continue to pray for us and pray for the people that we're meeting in Quebec, that God would just reveal Christ to them and that they would be saved. We send out regular prayer updates, so if any of you are interested in that, you can sign up at the back for that. Also visits, of course. We're really excited for Kyle to come, and we love having people to kind of show them what it's like in Quebec and the different culture there, and it's encouraging for us too, to be able to speak in English a little bit. And finally, just there's such a need for laborers in Quebec, so if you you know of anyone who speaks French or who is good at learning languages and who wants to come and visit, and if the Lord's putting that on your heart, please pray for more laborers to come.
Thank you. Don't forget to pick up one of their cards in the back and sign up to get updates. But we do thank you, Valerie, for coming and sharing with us today. Now we'll have David Wright come up for our congregational prayer.